Congratulations on your great score.
Thank you, ma'am.
So can you tell us what your sectional scores were?
I got 780 in math and 730 in verbal.
All right, great. 1510. When did you start your SAT preparation?
I've started it last year, 2021 of May.
Right.
This is actually my second time writing the SAT.
Okay, and so when you took the classes, did you take them online?
Yes, ma'am, online.
You go to school in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you come to find Jamboree?
During the summer of 2021, my summer holidays are from I was there in May and then I was again there till July ending, July ending. So it was at that time, my house is very near to the Jamboree Kukatpalli branch in Hyderabad. So we went there and then we got to know about the coursing. The teachers were nice. And then he was like, yeah, this course is nice.
So, but still you took the classes online, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who were your teachers?
Abha ma'am and Prasan sir.
Okay. So when you started your classes, so what was your experience of the classes? Did you learn anything new?
I mean, yeah, I've improved a lot. I mean, in terms of math, sir was really nice. Like, sir would explain each and everything. Not just like some of the questions were basic. They were basic questions that I would get wrong in the starting, and it was embarrassing. And so sir was like, this is how you do it. This is a shortcut. Your G method is also correct, but imagine this, eliminate the options. That's what I learned, eliminating the options. I never, thought of that as important, but it's easier to find something wrong in option than, check all the boxes and make it as correct. And I guess the biggest improvement was in verbal. English, stat passages are hard. Yeah, they're hard.
So after you were done with your classes, so how did you stay in touch with your faculty? What kind of support did you get with your faculty from your faculty? Once your classes got done.
I think the most support I received was from Karan sir. So I used to take the doubt clearing sessions in August, and sir gave me his phone number and email ID. So when I came across a difficult question, sir would have a doubt clearing session with me. I had them with Abha ma'am and Prasan sir also. It was like once you get a doubt, you have to clear it immediately. Otherwise, they just keep on piling up and that won't go good.
During your preparation, so what are the resources that you used? What study material did you use?
I used the Jamboree one. That was the most important thing. And then I used McGraw-Hill as a reference for practice. But the main thing was Jamboree.
And how many full-length tests did you write?
I have written, I guess, approximately 20.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
To pick the top 2-3 things that you liked about your experience with Jamboree, what would those be?
There's a lot actually. I mean, I could write an essay, but 3 things.
I mean, you
yeah, 500. I can tell 100. So I would say the most things were, the availability. The teachers were always available. The course was nice. The material that we got was really nice. It was started at the basics and then went all the way to advanced, and the doubt clarification sessions at the end of the testing. I guess Karan sir was really nice. Karan sir would explain everything in detail.
are you happy that you joined Jamboree?
Yeah. Very
So
happy.
if you have to give some tips to other people who are probably starting their SAT preparation now, what would be what tips will you share?
I think the first tip I would share is probably, they're going to be a little specific. Because these were the ones that helped me. The first thing is, whenever you go to the reading section, I always I cover up the options and then I think what is my answer, and then I look at the answer choices in front of me. I guess I got 49 out of 52 in the reading passage, and yeah, this trick helped me a lot. So whenever I would go to question, I would cover the options and I would imagine, like, try to recollect what the answer would be, and then I would match them. Because usually in the starting, I used to like look at all the options, underline the evidence, and then read everything. But the evidence are very compelling, you know. Once you read it, they kind of like trick you. It's confusing once you read them. But then, subconsciously you actually know the answer. So if you just try to imagine the answer before, it's most of the time it's the answer that's going to be correct.
And any tips regarding the mock testing process? How many, ideally, what's the number of mock tests you think students should take?
I think it depends upon which stage of the preparation, right? In the starting, I didn't take mock tests at all. I was focused only on like reading the textbook. But then at one point of time, you just cannot improve anymore. And like all the grammar rules, you've read everything. There's no point in reading them. And then I realized I knew all the content. The problem with me was the implementation. For example, would be insertable removal clause. Like, when you have the exercises, and when there's a heading called insertable removal clause, it's very easy. There's a comma here and then you need a comma here. But then in the exam, whenever I go through the sentences, I just forget that it has to be an insertable removal clause. I just, choose no punctuation or, something like that. So I think the problem, if you have implementation problem, taking more number of mock tests will help. But at the end of it, analyzing is very important. And sometimes your strength areas change. Like the first time out of the mock test, I got good in grammar and I lost points in reading. This time I got good in reading and I lost all the points in grammar. So it's best to change your schedule according to what's your strength and weakness, because they keep changing. Change.
True. I mean, but I think you are one of the few students who did better in reading than in writing. Usually students tend to do better in writing than in reading.
Yes, ma'am. I read a lot of novels.
Right.
Like when I was coming from India to Saudi, in the luggage, my books were 50 kilos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that always helps. If you have reading as a habit, then you don't have to put in extra effort in, getting reading speed, etc.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your plans now? Now that you're done with the SAT, probably you'll
Okay.
take your plans.
Yeah. So I'll go over it. It's not that, I would say it's not that defined, but I do have some things in mind, like interesting things. So the first thing is I was always, conflicted between studying in India and abroad. Because, studying abroad, the colleges are more, they look at it holistically. In India, it's like only marks. You got a good J rank, and that's all it takes to get into IITs. The thing is, I have always, been towards studies. Like my marks are good, my grades are good. But in India, I want to study robotics, aviation, and criminology. And there aren't any top institutes that give you engineering and social science. There's no top institutes. So I took the SAT because I wanted to go abroad. I actually wanted to go to Germany, to study at Technische Universität München, but they said you need 13 years of study, plus one, plus two, and plus three. So I got disqualified without even trying. And then I thought of like going to the US, because it's obvious. And I've met with admission counselors of Purdue University and University of Texas. And all these colleges, it's not very certain that you will get an admission. I've talked with them and they're like, you have good grades, your city is good, but we look holistically. And my extracurricular activities aren't that great. I think I've written Olympiads and everything, but sports wise, no. So most probably I'll be applying to a few colleges this fall. Probably University of Texas, Austin, John Hopkins, Purdue. But I'm also focusing on J now. I think I might try to get in triple ITs or NITs.
Good. I mean, a lot of things actually consider as profile, when you want to apply to the US, not just sports, if you reading, you mentioned you read so much of that itself is a strength. So I think it's all about how you highlight your strengths. I mean, if you have read so much, that can be a differentiating factor. We have a detailed counseling program, where we help students with the profile building and everything, so with the applications, the essays, common app essays, or, whatever. So yeah, we do have a process for that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I'll give the details to Abha and she'll pass on to you. Okay, your score.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.